Hi there. So in this one, I'm going to be talking about Spring stores and comparing them to tweened stores. So they are both part of Svelte Motion. I'm calling them stores. They're very similar to stores, but they're a bit different. So here is a tweened store, and what I have here is just this div and the value of the store. And whatever the value of the store is, it is multiplied by 50 and set to left pixels for this square. So right now it's at 0. When I click Spring, it goes up 1, and once it gets to greater than 4, it'll go back. Okay, so that's a tween store, and you'll see it just goes, it's just sort of a linear function, burp, 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 going from one number to the next. So now if I change this to a spring store, then it's going to give a bit more of a natural motion, as if it's kind of like stepping, or I don't know, whatever you think that is. So the motion's a bit different, and they're very similar, but with a spring store, you're going to have different parameters that you can set. So over here in a tween store, you've got delay, duration, easing. But if you come down to a spring store, you've got stiffness, damping, and precision. And I still don't quite have a intuitive feel for how these change the movement. But hopefully, you can mess around with it a bit and try to figure out what they do. So stiffness, for example, is usually default 0.15, but let's say we set it to 0.8. Let's see what happens. So there it looks really weird. And maybe if I make this longer, it'll be easier to see. I'm not sure. And I'm just going to change that. So if I spring, yeah, so the stiffness is very high. So here it says higher means a tighter spring. Okay, so it's just bam, going right there with a high stiffness. If I change it a lot lower, 0.05, yeah, then it's a lot smoother like that. And you'll see it doesn't even, yeah, it takes a while to get there. So the duration is actually completely different. So if with tweened, it's always, you set the duration, it's always going to be that long. But here you see I set the stiffness a lot lower, and it's taking a lot longer to move. Okay, so another thing is damping. And so the default is 0.8, but let's say I set it down to 0.1, and I'll change that to the default again. And just so you see, okay, that's the default. Now if I put the damping all the way up to, or all the way down to 0.1, okay, so that's what the damping does. It kind of, that springy boing. If I put it to 0.5, boing, oh, okay, you can't even quite see that spring, so you've got to put it up higher to make it bounce. Oh, and that's not even, that's not bouncing at all. What did I have it at? I had it at, oops, sorry, I'm going the wrong way. 0.2 to make it more bouncier. There we go. So if I put it at 0.1, what is that going to look like? Boing. Oh, wait. Boing. Wow, it's really bouncy. So you can get it to go like that if you want, and you'll see it's very, very springy like that. Okay, and finally, I'm going to go to precision. I'll set this to its default. Precision is, okay, so default is 0.001, so it determines the threshold at which the spring is considered to have settled. Lower means more precise. So if it's not very precise, if I go 0.01, so 10 times the default, okay, I don't know. Let's see. What if I do 0.1? Huh, interesting. If I do 0.5, weird. Okay. Precision point. Boop. Okay, well, you can play around with these and kind of figure out what you want to do, what you like. It's supposed to just give it a more natural feel than these tweened, than a tween just linear function. Yep, so that is all I have to say about Spring stores, and I hope you enjoy. And also, please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.